As Bitcoin's battle at the 21-week moving average rages on, will Bitcoin finally initiate the true retest we've been waiting for? As the bears are wetting their whistles at the thought of getting another chance of emptying their bowels on the chest of the bulls, are the bears gaining momentum, or is there something much more unsettling bubbling up in the belly of the bulls? I'm your host, Chadley Chud Chudster, and it's true that both the Bears and Bulls are watching and waiting in anticipation with clenched cheeks as decision time draws closer. Absolutely ginormous. We have a lot shaping up on these charts right now, and I think, in fact, we are ready for some very nice volatility to increase over the next 24 hours. I'm going to be taking a look at that. And as well, what I've been talking about for the past 3 or 4 days, that a lot of people say, Tyler, what are you, absolutely crazy? That will not happen. A retest. Is it true, in fact, that we will be getting the retest that I've been talking about, and specifically, where? And without any further ado, let's pump on in. Well, so if we take a look here at Bitcoin on the daily chart, after 3 straight days hovering right above the 200-day moving average, Bitcoin has now dipped its little toes a little bit below that. And guys, this is the big decisive moment, because the only pullback that we've seen since July 21st, so about 3-4 weeks ago, was a 4-day pullback where Bitcoin went from 42,000 down to about the very high $37,000 range. And now, are we in the midst, and are we at the precipice of another similar pullback that will decide everything? Absolutely. That's exactly what I think. And we absolutely have a lot to be jumping into. So if we take a look first on this weekly chart, guys, we're still kind of sitting right exactly on this 21-week moving average, and we're slightly below the 200-day moving average. The 200-day is sitting right at about 45,000. The 21-week is sitting a little bit lower at about 44,000. And now this is big. So if we take a look here, you can see one of the biggest fettuccine resistances that we just got rejected off, right about 46,000. After just having our inching our feet a little bit above that. Currently, we've come back down to our very micro short-term support of right about 44. Right underneath that is about 43. Go figure. And then 42 is a much bigger level. So at the very minimum, I think that it would be more than healthy at the minimum to get a continued move to the downside around 42,000. Now, if you've been watching the videos for the last couple of days, I'm not going to go over why obviously 40,000 itself is a gigantic level, which I don't expect to see Bitcoin go below, especially now as the 21-day moving average is almost up to 41,000. Okay, we've been covering exactly why for days, so I'm not going to keep repeating myself, but pretty much anything below 40,000 at this point is an opportunity that I personally am not going to be passing up in terms of an entry for a long position. Now, keep in mind, I talked about this about a week or so ago, and a lot of people were, thinking I was absolutely goofy talking about it. I was talking about a $35,000 pullback down to the $35,000 range, and we didn't quite get there. We got down into the low 37s and then bounced up. And at this point, it was right about back here, the last couple of days of July. I was saying, guys, I personally think, hey, if we get a pullback to 35, that would be amazing, and I think that'd be healthy, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Eventually, we did get a pullback. It went a little bit higher, and then we didn't go quite as low. So I was basically saying I want to see 35, and we got about 37, and then immediately bounced back up. So what I'm saying here is I want to see 40, and will the same thing repeat where we only come down to maybe about 42 or so? I think that's a fairly likely scenario. This pullback is very early, so we have to see how strong the momentum is for the bears, because this move I think is going to take at least 3 to 4 days, and we're in the middle of it right now, so we have to see how the momentum develops. Again, I think it's too early. We have the weekend price action coming up in roughly about 24 plus hours there. But overall, I personally believe this will be the last pullback before we see $50,000 plus, because I personally am bullish on the market. I think we're still in a bull market. I think we have a lot more upside to go. However, we also have to be reasonable. There is literally zero chance that over the next week we're going to see this, okay? I mean, I can't say zero, I guess, because anything can happen, but we don't even want to see that, okay? That's why when we were right about here-ish, actually even a little bit before that maybe, I was saying, hey, maybe we should, let's get a pullback. We went for another day or two, and then we did get a pullback, and that's why exactly I'm saying the same thing now, and I've been saying it for the past few days. Let's get a pullback. This is healthy for the market. The longer you've been in this space, the more situations like this make you a little uneasy, because what makes you less uneasy is if you're in this exact type of structure and then you get a pullback retest and then continue up. That's bullish. That's exactly what I want to see. And again, guys, if you don't think that makes sense, well, that's exactly what we're saying for the first couple of months of 2021 and the last like 6 months of 2020. Because again, in this bullish structure, look what happened. We were going up, but we were getting healthy pullbacks, specifically on the daily chart, down to the 21 daily moving average many, many times. Okay. I mean, some people could argue this was maybe a bearish setup. And a lot of people back here, a lot of the bears that you're watching right now were saying, this is it. 20K rejection going back under 10K. Okay. Believe it or not, the people calling for 10K right now, that's what they were saying in this setup. And guess what happened? It didn't do that. It kept going up. But with that being said, and keep in mind, they were saying the same thing here as Bitcoin hit 40K. They said, okay, 40K is the top. Now we're going back down to 20K. Now we're going back down to 10K. And we didn't, okay? Still bullish structure, but amidst all of that, what allowed us to get to 65,000 was the fact that we were having healthy pullbacks amidst a very strong bullish uptrend. And so that's exactly, I mean, it's not like rocket science. That's exactly what I'm looking for here as well. If we want this to be bullish, obviously the price needs to go up, but it has to be in a healthy way. And that's why I think that, over the next few days, if we do backtest or if we retest 42,000, great. If we retest 40K, great. If we retest maybe even 38,000, which at this point I think is the very lowest we could wick to and still maintain a very bullish structure, meaning, okay, I'll just repeat it. I personally think that this structure is still very, very bullish, even if we could wick all the way down to the high 38,000, okay? I think a lot of people might say, wow, that's a little too low, but at the same time, guys, pullbacks are not a bad thing, okay? Now, if we would break this low, if we come down here and break 37K, okay, that's obviously not nearly as bullish. That's quite bearish there, because at that point as well, the 50-day will have come up to the point, because it pretty much already is there right now, will already be there. So not only if we came back down to 37 or very high 36, not only would that be bullish because we'd be setting a lower low, we'd also be we'd have to breach the 21-day and 50-day to get there. So basically, to sum up my point here, anything above 38,000 when we're looking for a pullback over the next few days, anything above that range, I'm not sweating at all. I think that's absolutely perfectly healthy. And so that's basically what I'm looking for. I actually saw some people, not many, but there of course, anytime Bitcoin drops 2%, people are going to start panicking. But guys, I mean, I'll say it here because I just want to make it clear. As long as we remain above 40K, there's literally nothing to be concerned about. If we breach 40K and head into 39 and get close to that $38,000 level that I talked about, like in a wick or something, then we can start getting a little concerned. Okay, maybe is this going to start reversing? But we're not anywhere close to that, so relax. Hello, and without any further ado, that's it for me. Bye-bye.